I am Petya Rasheva, an alumna at the Stanford Lead program. Our topic today is the secret sauce of success. I am talking to Matt Abrahams, a lecturer in organizational behavior at Stanford Graduate School of Business and a host of the Think Fast, Talk Smart podcast. Welcome, Matt.
Thanks, Petya. I'm really excited to be here chatting with you. It's great to be with somebody in the LEAD program.
Thank you for joining us. Matt, long story short, how did you end up at Stanford?
Well, in many ways, I never really left Stanford. So I was an undergraduate in Stanford many decades ago. I went to graduate school, did a short stint in high tech, and then as I transitioned out of high tech and started teaching, I taught at Stanford's continuing studies program, where I have taught for over 20 years. And as a result of that, a few of my students were at the business school, and they said, hey, you should come over and teach some of this stuff here at the business school. So I interviewed, and I've now been at the business school for 13 years doing similar work, but much more in depth.
That's quite impressive. And Matt, over the past couple of years, you have interviewed many successful people from the academia and from the business for the Think Fast, Talk Smart podcast. Have you discovered what is the secret sauce of success?
Well, I think it's a little different for everyone, but I've been very, very fortunate to host Think Fast, Talk Smart. It's been a wonderful experience for me, and hopefully for the many listeners out there, they, like I, have learned a lot. I think if there's any one clear message that has come from all those interviews is we need to be present in our interactions, not in the future, thinking about consequences, not in the past, ruminating, and really appreciate and listen and be in service of those that we communicate with. So if there's any secret sauce that I've gleaned from my over 100 interviews that I've done, it's really to be present-oriented, be audience-centric and audience-focused, and listen well.
And talk well.
Yes, yeah, of course. But you will talk better if you are present, you listen, and your audience focused. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. And Matt, who are some of the most remarkable guests that you have had?
Oh, that's so hard, Petya. It's like which of your children is your favorite? I really, really enjoy learning from all my guests, but I have to say that I am fascinated by those who study neuroscience and those who study creativity, and primarily because in my academic background, I never studied those to the level that I wanted. In fact, neuroscience really wasn't at what it is today when I was in graduate school. Had it been, I probably would have studied cognitive neuroscience. So I really find it fascinating, anybody who can share insights into how our brain chemistry and the way our brain works affects communication. And I am just enamored with creativity, be it improvisation, be it design thinking. Those are just concepts that I find so useful in my own life, and I have found that others find useful as well.
Mm-hmm. And Matt, talking about insight, you're now releasing your new book, Think Faster, Talk Smarter. Would you tell us what is it about?
Sure. So being somebody who's always been curious about and passionate about communication, I have for decades taught people how to communicate better, how to hone their skills. But mostly it's been in the context of planned communication, something where you sit down and you think about it. You might create slides or a meeting agenda. Hopefully you build in time to practice. But over time, it became very clear to me that most of our communication is not planned. It's spontaneous. It's in the moment. It's answering questions like I'm doing for you. It's giving feedback to people when they ask. It's fixing mistakes we make. It's making small talk. A lot of our communication happens in the moment. And so this book really takes together the past several years of my work that build off what I did initially for the business school, which was to try to help our MBA students respond better to cold calling. That's where the evil professor says, "What do you think?" And you have to respond in the moment. So the new book is really all about how to be more comfortable, confident, and compelling when speaking spontaneously.
And we can't wait to read it. Thank you
Well,
very
thank
much.
you.
Thank you very much, Matt, for spending time with us today on my behalf and on behalf of my colleagues at the Stanford Lead.
Thank you. I really appreciate the time. I think the LEAD program is fantastic, and I love that so many leaders listen in to Think Fast, Talk Smart.
And we hope to see you again live next year.
Absolutely. Would love to be there.
Have a great day, Matt.
You as well.